Very good morning, dear students. Dear students, today we are going to start chapter number 6 of geography, which is major landforms of the earth. So, children, in the previous chapter, we have discussed about the major domains of the earth, and now we are going to talk about the landforms of the earth. Fine, children. So, children, just look at figure 6.1 and you will be noticing that the surface of the earth is not the same everywhere, children. It is very, you can find a variety in this landforms. Fine. Now see, somewhere you can see the lithosphere, it is rugged, somewhere it is flat, so there is a variety. These landforms, they are how they took place, they are the result of two processes, children. Fine, you will be really amazed to know that the ground you are standing on, it is slowly and gradually moving. Within the earth, children, there is some movement which is taking place. So what are those movements? The first is the internal process, the second is the external process. So if you talk about the internal process, children, it leads to the upliftment and sinking of earth's surface at several places. So the it can sink, it can uplift the external earth's surface. Fine. So there is external process also, which is a continuous, wearing down of soil, land surface and all. Rebuilding of the land surface also come in between. So if you talk about the wearing away of the earth's surface, you all know it is known as erosion, children. And when the surface is being lowered by the process of erosion and again it is rebuilt by process, what is that process when it is rebuilt? That is deposition. Fine. Now these two processes, children, they can be carried out with running water, ice, wind. So erosion can be with any of these. Fine. If you We can group different landforms, children, depending on their elevation or depending on their slope. So those three landforms are mountains, plateaus and plains. First we will talk about mountain. What is a mountain? It is a natural elevation of earth surface. Fine. It may have a small summit or a broad base. It can be straight away high than the surrounding area. Fine. Some mountains, children, they are even higher than the clouds. Some, even when you go in, Himalayas, you find them even higher than the clouds, and the climate becomes very cold there as you go high. The moment you start going at a height, the temperature comes down, the climate becomes colder. In some mountains, children, you find permanently frozen river of ice, and what is that known as glaciers. And even you cannot see some mountains. Why? Because they are under the sea. Because of the harsh climate, very less people they live in the mountain area. Whenever you go to the mountain area, you find very less houses, means very less people prefer to live there. Fine. Why? The slopes are steep, less land is available for farming. So because of these reasons, less people settle in the mountain area. Children, when mountains are arranged in a line, that is known as a range of mountains. Every mountain system, children, it consists of several ranges, parallel ranges, even extending to hundreds of kilometers. If you talk about the Himalayas, Alps, Ains, they are the mountain ranges of Asia, Europe, South America. Fine, respectively. Now mountains, they differ in their height and in their shape. Now there are three types of mountains if we talk about. One is fold mountain, block mountain and the volcanic mountain. The Himalayas and the Alps, they are young fold mountains. They have a rugged relief and they have a high conical peak. If you talk about Aravalli mountain in India, that is one of the oldest fold mountain in the world. Please underline. The range has considerably worn down due to the processes of erosion. So it has, due to erosion, find the range has been considerably worn down. It has become less now. The Appalachians in North America, Ural Mountains in Russia, they have a round feature and their elevation, their height is also low. So they are very old fold mountains. Then comes the block mountains, children. So the block mountains, you can see the figure is given to you 6.3. Block mountains, they are created by large areas which are broken and displaced vertically. You can see the uplifted block is known as the host, the lowered block is known as the graben. The examples are the Rhine Valley, Vosges Mountain in Europe. Fine, they are the examples of block mountains. Fine. So just check out in the map. You can find more about these type of mountains. Last come the volcanic mountains. So they are formed due to the volcanic activities like Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa, Fujiyama in Japan. They are the volcanic mountains, children. Mountains, why they are very helpful to us? See, they are very useful because they are storehouse of water. Water comes from where? From the mountains only. Many rivers, they have, they have their source from the glaciers in the mountains. If you talk about Ganga, Yamuna, from where they are coming? They are coming from the mountains, and from where these mountains are getting water? From the glaciers. The glaciers are melting and then the rivers are getting water, and even their reservoirs are made on them, and water is harnessed for the use of people. Now they are also a source of irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. We use that water in different sources. River valleys and terraces, they are very good for cultivation of crops. Mountains have a rich variety of plants and animals, flora and fauna. And forest provide you with fuel, fodder, shelter, so many things. It gives you gum, raisins, medicines. So it gives you so many things. Fine. You can see this figure. This is a volcano. How a volcanic mountain is formed. Fine. Mountain, it is, why you go to mountains? Because they provide you the idyllic site for tourism. And it is very famous. The mountains are famous for their scenic beauty. Lot of sports are done there. Paragliding, hang gliding, river rafting, skiing. These are all popular in mountains, this sort of sports. Then comes the plateaus, children. Now, what are plateaus? You might have seen a table. A plateau is an elevated flat top. It is flat top table land standing above the surrounding area. It will be at a height from the surrounding area, and it will be flat on the top, just like a table. Now a plateau may have one or more sides with steep slopes, children. You can see the picture of plateau. Fine. The height of a plateau, it can be different. Fine. From a few hundred meters to several thousand meters, it can be high. Fine. Plateaus, they can also be young or old. The Deccan Plateau in India is one of the oldest plateaus. East African Plateau in Kenya, Tanzania and Uganda, they are the western plateau, and the western plateaus of Australia. They are a very good examples of plateaus. Fine. Tibet Plateau, children, it is the highest plateau in the world, and its height is 4,000 to 6,000 meters above the sea level. Fine. Now after that, children, see, plateaus, they are also very useful to us. Plateaus are very useful. How can plateaus be useful to us? They are also a storehouse of different minerals. Fine. They are storehouse of different minerals. You might have seen that in the plateaus we get a lot of minerals. So the first thing is mineral deposit. Fine. Then the mining areas, they are located in the plateau areas only. Fine. African plateau, it is famous for gold, diamond mining. In India, if you talk about, we have many reserves of iron, coal, manganese in the Chota Nagpur plateau. Plateau areas again, they have waterfalls, river falls, so they are also very famous. Tourists, they go there. Hundru Falls in Chota Nagpur plateau on the river Subhadranekha, and Jog Falls in Karnataka, they are the examples of such waterfalls. Lava plateau, children, they are black in color. Fine, rich black soil they have, and that soil is very fertile and good for cultivation. And even the plateaus, they also have some scenic spots, and they also attract so many tourists to them. Last come the plain area in which you people live. Fine. So the plains, they have a large stretches of flat land, and they see their height is not more than 200 meters above the sea level. Fine. Then children, some plains, they are extremely level, others can be, different from the, like they can be rolling, they can be somewhere high, somewhere low. Fine. Then most of the plains, they are formed by the rivers. So rivers, they make the plains, rivers or their tributaries, they make these plains area. Fine. River flowing down to the slopes of mountains, they erode with them so many things. The eroded material, it is deposited at a side, and slowly and gradually the, this plains are made. Fine. Now these plains are formed because of this, and that's the reason why they are so much fertile. Plains are very much fertile. Construction of transport network is easy there. Plains, they have thick populated regions of the world. Most of the people, they live in the plain area. Largest plains made by the rivers found in Asia, North America. So most of the plain areas are found in Asia and North America. Like in Asia, if you talk about the Ganga Brahmaputra in India and Yangtze in China, they are the plains which are formed by the rivers. They are also very important areas because human habitation is there, and people, they prefer to live here because the land is flat, so they can easily build their houses, they can easily do cultivation. For soil is also fertile, highly productive area for the cultivation. Indo-Gangetic plains, they are the most densely populated region of our country. Now comes the landform and the people. Children, so humans have been living in different kinds of landforms in different ways. So life is really difficult for those who are living in mountain regions. And if you talk about our area, plain area, we have a lot of, better living conditions we have here. Fine. Our life is very much easy. We can easily grow crops, make houses, roads can be made even easily here in the plains than the mountains. Fine. Now sometimes, children, the natural calamities take place like earthquake, volcanic eruption, storm, flood. They, cause so much destruction. Heavy loss of life and property takes place due to these natural calamities. So we should have awareness about this, so that the risk should be lowered. Fine. Now your in your surroundings, you can find how we use this land and water. So we are just wasting it in a, different manner. So we should always take care. We should not construct the, houses on the fertile land. We should not throw garbage here and there. We should not make the land dirty. So we should avoid all these things, and we should respect the gift of nature in a very careful way. We should not, disrespect the nature's gift to us. Fine. So it is our duty to leave the earth a better place for the future generation as well. We are living there, but what about the coming future generation? How will they live? Fine. So children, this was the end of the topic. Thank you and have a nice day.